What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler coming at you with another fantastic video, and this one's going to save you some headaches if you're a lithium battery user. If you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button down there. Join the Average Angler community where we try and bring you great content all the time. Now, this one is a little different. About a year ago, I switched my batteries out to lithium batteries for my trolling motor. Still have my AGM for the starting, haven't converted that yet. My boat likes the weight in the back, so I don't know if we'll get around to that or not. We probably will, but anyway, I ran into a little situation this past week that I want to share with you to hopefully save you the heartache of what we had to deal with. Just to tell you, cheers, we got a little num-num juice from Fall River Brewing, and this is a hazy IPA. I tend to like hazies. I like to get a little hazy up here. I'm a little hazy anyway, I think, honestly. But let's give her a taste. And I'm sure you could tell by how far I tilted that can back that I'd already had a taste. Anyway, pretty good stuff. That is, what, 7.5%. It's good. It's not overpowering. While I got you guys here, I want to share one interesting new contraption I got. This is supposed to fit in an Edge Plano box, but what it is it's a big weight container. There you'll see my 1 3/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, and 1 ounce weights. So it's kind of nice. It carries them in a smaller container. You can see the notches here. That'll slide down into one of your Edge Plano boxes. Like this container because I don't have to carry a ton of them. It's not like you go through a lot of them. I have what I need, and I just put it on the shelf of my day box, and the weights are there. So kind of cool. I don't remember how much it was. I don't think it was very expensive, but cool little box. You'll see that even though it's a big weight box, it's not closing. It's latched, but it still is forcing up a little gap there. So it's padded inside, nice to keep your weights from banging around. That's what I like about it, because as we all know, you chip off the paint of these weights and they're expensive. One of my partners, my frog fishing partner, Mike, just bought some tungsten weights and he said they were $12. For one weight, $12. Getting back to the lithium batteries and the problems I had, and I'd show you, I have the app on my phone. I have the Ionic 50 amp 12 volt batteries, 3 of them, right, for my trolling motor. They've been fantastic. I've had them a year. I love them. I rarely get under 75% after fishing all day. Now there is the outlier that every once in a while will get down to 65%. Even when I was fishing that Pro-Am and my big motor took a dump on me, and I fished 3 days on trolling motors, I still had plenty of juice every day. So that's to say, I really like them. They perform well, they hold up, they charge fast. And I have the Minn Kota Precision 460. Okay, that does lead acid, AGM, lithium ion. All right, has the indicator on it, whether they're charging, the level they're charged, and all that kind of stuff. So this is what I'll say. And this is the downside of my Ionics. And this happened early on, so blame the average angler for not taking care of it sooner. The app quit recognizing the batteries, but I still had one. I just looked at that one, and I'm like, if that one's charged, and I look in the charger and it says they're all charged, then they're all charged. Well, last weekend, I didn't check the charger. I just looked at the app and it said the one that it was monitoring was fully charged. So we go out to fish, pull up to our first spot, go up there to jump on the trolling motor, and boom, nothing. Now first I got to look into this because I bought that new Minn Kota Ultrex Quest, which I thought was 2436. So I thought it should have worked on 24. And maybe it does, but I haven't figured out how. Anyway, needless to say, it didn't work, would not turn on. We're back there trying to figure out what's going on. Of course, I don't have a meter with me, so I can't test the batteries. Anyway, when the world gives you lemons, you make lemonade. We went and fished. It was a pain in the butt to fish on the Delta, a current-driven tidal fishery. And it was windy. Well, we made the best of it. We've had worse days by far. We had a limit. We caught some frogfish. We caught some other fish. But anyway, I get home and I test the batteries with my voltmeter. What do you think I find? I found a battery with 1.65 volts. And I thought, well, what the hell? I plugged my charger in. On this one battery, it starts flashing. It's an error code. So I have a single NOCO charger, so I hooked the NOCO up to it. First thing I notice is it goes to lithium, but it won't charge it. The battery had gone to sleep. It got drained all the way down, and it went to sleep. The other two batteries charged. They were good. I don't know why this happened. Well, I know why they got drained. I left the switch on to that Ultrex Quest, which is running the GPS for spot lock when it's powered on. So over the 3 weeks that I didn't fish, it drained the batteries all the way down. When I plugged the charger in, I never looked in the compartment. I keep a cover on my boat. Usually I'll pull the cover back and look at the charger to make sure everything's good. I just took it for granted everything was good. When I checked the battery on the app, it said I was good. Well, lo and behold, I wasn't good. I was down a battery. I flicked the switch, the breaker switch, to the trolling motor. When it was on, it would not wake up that battery and charge it. When I turned that switch off, unplugged the charger, let it shut off, which takes a couple minutes, okay? It doesn't shut off right away. It's still reading. Once it shut off and I plugged it back in, boom, picked up, and it started charging, and all of a sudden I could see another battery on my app. So it reignited the BMS in that battery. Now look, this is what Lithium Hub told me 8 months ago. Drain your batteries all the way down, recharge them, it'll wake up the BMS. I was really like, how am I going to drain my batteries all the way down? I didn't have anything to do it, so I thought, as it turns out, all I had to do was leave the trolling motor on. Now, if I had done this intentionally, it would have been a much easier process because I could have woke up that battery, got it charging, and boom, we would have been good. The benefit is it only takes 3.5 hours to charge that battery from completely dead to full charge. Good deal. In a year, I have 12 cycles on my battery. That means 12 drain, charge on your battery. I'll tell you, a lot of times I don't charge the battery because I'm like 80 some odd percent. It's like, why charge it? No need to charge it. And I have a routine when I pull the boat out of the water to go around and turn everything off. I honestly don't know how I missed it. It's part of my routine, but apparently I missed it. My advice to you with lithium-ion batteries. Number one, I love them. I think they're great, okay? That I just want to be clear on. I wouldn't change it. 2, check your charger, though. Make sure everything's working good. I didn't know that it was an error and wasn't charging a battery. It's my bad. I should have looked. Once I looked, it took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to get it working again. And now we're golden. Everything's charged up. Trolling motor works again. And lo and behold, we'll be able to fish the frog tournament. But I won't say the day was wasted. We eliminated some water that we wanted to check, and it wasn't right. We found a couple things, and we just spent some time driving around. We fished here and there with the big motor, which is kind of a pain in the butt. I'd forgotten about those days, and look, that's how I started. 20, 30 years ago, I didn't have a trolling motor. Mike didn't have a trolling motor. He had a gas motor on the back of a 14-foot aluminum boat, and that's how he fished. We start to take things for granted, and we forget about the way it used to be. I'll say it sucked fishing a tidal fishery in the wind without a trolling motor. Okay, the way you pull up to a spot, set up for a spot, all of it, completely different. Now, I will say this. I had not used my power poles in 2 years. And you guys can take this to the bank. It's up to you. It depends on how you fish. I'm more of an offshore structure fisherman. The Delta is not an offshore structure fishery per se. We were able to adapt after a few hours, and I said, I ain't used the power poles in God knows how long. Let's test them out. I had them strapped up. I put a strap around them just in case the hydraulic line breaks, which has happened to me, and the power pole falls down on the road. You grind the freaking spike down as you're driving. I've got 2 new ones. Power Pole sent me some years ago when I needed to do a rebuild on them. Power Pole's awesome. Their warranties are fantastic. They stand behind their product. I want to make that clear. And we started using the power poles. So we'd get up in the shallow end of stuff, power pole down, and we started fishing. We weren't frog fishing. Well, we would frog fish, work the area over, and then we would pick up our offshore stuff and we'd throw out to deep water. Guess where we found fish? Out offshore. And they bit like they had never seen a bait before. Moral of the story, don't change your routine. My routine, first of all, is to start at the front, turn everything off, which I didn't do. Obviously, the switch was in the on position when I got there. Number 2, make the best of what you got. Number 3, always check your charger. The charger don't lie. Even if you don't, look, every battery company doesn't have Bluetooth out there. A lot of them do. They have things you can buy even if you don't have Bluetooth in your battery. You can buy I think it's called a shunt, something like that. And you can get Bluetooth to tell you that stuff. I'm thinking about doing that just to have a secondary, right? First and secondary, so I can see one or the other. Had I very simply pulled the cover back, looked at the charger, I would have known there was an issue. I could have taken care of it ahead of time before I drove 4 hours round and didn't have a trolling motor. Hopefully, my lesson learned saves you guys a day on the water. I don't mind being the scapegoat. We all learn every time we go out something, right? This is what I learned this time. Oh, and those offshore fish. Don't sleep on them. Sean the Average Angler, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.